What it has here is what's called, you know, the first derivative is dy dx. The second derivative, if you look at the board, is d2y dx squared. Okay, so that. Also, that means is do the differentiation thing twice. So look, if we start off with question 3, okay, all we have to do, it's a 3-line answer. Y equals 2x squared minus 3. Second step is you have to write down dy dx. Everybody looking? Now, to differentiate, you get the 2 and you multiply it by whatever is in front of the x. So 2 times 2? 4. Take 1 away from the power. 2 minus 1? 4x1. That's no big deal. It's just 4x. What happens to any number when you differentiate it? 0. Okay? Then you next differentiate it again. What happens to 4x when you differentiate it? 4. And you're done. It just means you do the same thing. It's like 2 questions in one. You just differentiate twice, and when it's anything with an x beside it, remove the x. So, okay. Next one here is question 6 I'm going to do. So I've done 3 and 6 so far. Question 6 is the same deal. You have y equals 4 minus 3x minus x squared. Dylan, what happens when you differentiate a number? Just a number with no x beside it.
0.
0, perfect. When you differentiate minus 3x, what happens? Minus 3. And then what about minus x squared? Minus 2x. Okay. Now, next thing we're doing is differentiating minus x squared. How do you differentiate minus x squared, Gonzalo?
2x squared.
Minus 2x1, isn't it? And the x1 doesn't matter. Okay, Nick, after that, Nick, how do you differentiate the next part? The 3 turns to 0, and that simply turns to minus 2. Now guys, the next thing to do is, most of you are finding these easy. Now what they'll try and do next is, instead of using numbers, they're going to try different letters. And what you have to accept is that it actually still means exactly the same thing. So you can see that, see the way it's y and x, it's still y and x, but they have all these new letters. Now, what this means here is, see this little box here? It says P, Q, R, and S are an element R. What it means is they represent normal numbers, okay? And because they represent normal numbers, they get treated like normal numbers. So an example, if I ask you to differentiate 4x cubed, what would you tell me the answer is? 3 multiplied by 4? 12x squared. So what do you think px cubed would be? Multiply the 3 by the p and what happens? 3px squared. And then 2 multiplied by q? 2qx. rx plus r. And then s disappears. I want you to do it a second time. d2y dx squared equals, multiply it by 2. 6p, take 1 away from the x. Differentiate 2qx plus 2q. R is on its own. What happens when you differentiate r? 0. Okay? Now, I reckon you all think they're fairly easy. Number 10, guys. Now, guys, what does f dash x mean? Can anybody tell me? We did this before. Differentiate once. Differentiate 3 turns to 0. Differentiate minus 2x turns into? Differentiate x cubed plus 3x squared. Now guys, what's the difference between f dash x and f dash 5? What do you think it means? Take a wild guess. Yeah. Put it into the calculator, you get 73. Now, second thing, what does f double dash x mean? Differentiate twice. Differentiate this thing here a second time. So what happens when you differentiate minus 2?
0.
Differentiate 3x squared? 6x. Then continue on here. Yes. Just regards to the first question, it was actually a minus 5, which means it's a minus 5 in there, but because it was squared, it actually didn't affect the answer, okay? It's still 73, but it is a minus 5 they want. I differentiate a second time, Dennis. The minus 2 turned into a 0. The 3x squared turns into 2 times 3, which is 6. Take 1 away from the power, 6x. There's no need to put down the 0. Then once I've done that, what we're going to get is, we're asked for the minus 5, so we have to replace x with minus 5. And when we do that, we're going to get minus 30. You guys alright with that? Okay.